everyone, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here, and of course everyone has an amazing day so far. For everyone who is new here, of course welcome to you too. I hope you enjoy what you see. What we're going to use for today's DIY is of course the tumbling tile blocks, the smaller blocks. Like I always tell you, make sure that you have 4 until 5 packages laying around in your stash so you always have enough for each DIY. We have here a container with everything inside you need for some DIY, but you can make your own container and use whatever you like. The most important is the wood glue. You can use some hot glue like I tell you, but always be careful that it doesn't break. I have here my containers with some paint because you see already on the colors, it's this time we have the season of the 4th of July. It's the same coloring like I have in my flag for the Netherlands, red, white and blue. So I really love this kind of DIYs. I have here my old saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel which is wet to wipe away the glue. And what we're going to make for today, we are going to make a kind of a home decor tags. So we will see how this will turn out. So you see already we have now 6 rows of 5. So 6 rows of 5. We do some glue on the tops. You place it down and always make a nice line out of it. And of course always when my camera is running, I always get stuck to something or something else because I want to try to do it as fast as I can, but most of the time that doesn't work because then it takes even longer. So again, we are going to roll them together. I like to decorate with some tags, but not everyone is enjoying the tags. But I always say you can make it and turn it over for your own decor. You don't have to do it what you see in store. You can always, that's the greatest, if you make it yourself, you can easily change it up and make it fitting for your decor, because in the stores is not everyone's taste. And of course, that's the greatest about if you are drifting. I love drifting so much because it's relaxing and you can get bargains for very cheap and you can change it up. And that's the part I love the most. I always change up my drifted decor. So I don't know if you are a drifter. If you're not, just give it a try and you will see it's so much cheaper than when you are going to buy it in expensive stores. So again, we're going to squeeze them together this way. Over here, make sure that you always at the ending squeeze it at the end. Of course, normally we should start in the middle, but I'm a little impatient. But of course, we have to start in the middle to be sure that everything is fitting nicely. Over here, and we're going to squeeze this one, and here, and now the last one, and we're going to give it a couple of minutes dry. And of course, we're going to wipe away the glue, so we just easily wipe over, place it on the side and do this side, clean it up and turn it to the other side. And so we could do all of them. So now we're going to take the two middle pieces. We're going to place one on the side. We do some glue over here in the middle and we're going to place it down and we're going to squeeze them together this way. Make sure that you have them in a straight line over here. Press them together, fill in the open gaps because that's what you want. And now we're going to wipe away the glue and we're going to let this dry also for at least 20 minutes because we're going to paint it. So now we have our 8 rows of 6. So 8 rows of 6. So again, we do the same procedure what we did with the other one, only later we are going to fill it in with an extra block because I think for me it's a little bit too small. So again, we place this and we do this one, and you see already now I miss one block, so I get a loose block and I do one extra because I want to have this one a little bit longer. So again, you're going to squeeze them, make sure that you have a straight line before you're going to do the next one. So we do again one over here, you do 2 because my mat is smaller than the blocks I want to have. So this one, so I row first 6 and then I'm going to do number 7 extra, of course, over here, and we fill it in and we're going to squeeze it from the inside to the outside. Oh, And you see already, he still needs to be down. Always feel with your fingers. If you have, of course, a carpenter square, then you are totally fit to go. So again, I'm going to do now again one together with you. The rest I will do a little faster. Number 2 and a number 3, number 4 and number 5 and number 6, and then we get number 7, and then he is fitting on top of my mat. So again, squeeze it before we go to the next row. So if everything is correctly, you have, for the bigger size of your tag, you have 8 rows of 7. So 8 rows of 7. I started with 8 of 6, but I glued later one together because my mat was not longer. So I have 8 rows of 7. I take the 2 middle pieces. I'm going to do some glue on the sideline. I do one on the side, do some glue over here, and I'm going to place it down, and we're going to squeeze them very gently together until one piece. Feel with your fingers, and again fill in the open gaps over here, and we're going to wipe away the glue on the top, and we're going to let this rest at least for 25 minutes also. So I place this one and this one, which one is next to the bigger piece in the middle. We do some glue over here in the smallest line, and we just don't do it totally to the underside, but we left over a little piece. So we're going to glue this together. We do here the same, and of course you can decide how many space you are going to keep from the top side. You don't have to do it the way that I do. So again, I'm going to press it. I think I'm going to go up a little. I don't want to have it too like a little stair. We do here the same. We glue some glue on the side, also not totally to the underside, and we let this go down also a little, not too much. We do it over here, a little line, but like I told you, you can do anything you like. You don't have to do the same height that I do. And the last one over here. Oh, you see already I'm a little too far, and I'm going to place it also over here, and we're going to do this one. And of course I have to think on that I don't do it too low. And again, we're going to place this one over here. Now I'm going to look for, if I like, maybe I'm going to place my mat this way so I can see it a little bit better how I want to have them, because I don't want to have them too low. And this one a little bit higher. And I think I'm going to go for this, and then we're going to squeeze all of them together until one piece. So you see, this is how he turned out. And of course, if you want to make a different tag, you can leave this on. But I think I'm going to make a straight line over here, so it will be a one piece. So I'm going to give this 25 minutes, and then we're going to paint this one and the other parts we made earlier for the smaller one. So I did let this one dry already earlier. So we have now, this is the smaller piece. What we're going to do, because I want to give them a red and white, so I have to paint them already in front before I'm going to glue it. But I don't know how to sew it then. You can sew, of course, afterwards when you paint it, but that's really not easy to do. Then you have to work everything later extra, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to lay it down the way I want to have it, this way. And now I'm going to squeeze them together. I'm going to make a line with my marker and my ruler, and I'm just going to mark this off, and then I'm going to cut it off in front before I'm going to paint it. So now we did cut off our smaller piece until one side, and now of course we're also going to do this one, and we're going to make a very simple line over here and over here. And we're going to, you can easily do this with a hand saw. This is just such a little space you need to saw. So it's not a lot, it's only a little piece. So I'm going to go to my garage and I'm going to saw it out. So you see, I made a straight line on the underside, and now I'm going to get my dark blue and I'm going to do this bigger size tag in the blue color. Of course, I can drill a hole already in front, but I chose to do it a little bit later because he's not totally dry yet. And I did it also with another DIY, so it is really possible just to make a little hole inside before you're going to, you only need to do with a little pencil, a little bit blue. So I like a little bit of the rusty color, but you can do, of course, already a little hole inside. So now my blue one is drying, and you see already I'm in black right now. It was one disaster. My pencil of my brush was falling out of my hand. My sweater, my trousers, my floor, everything was under the blue. So this was really a little bit of a chaos. So, but at the end, I don't know if you see my sweater ever again, but we will see if it will wash out. But at least everything was dark blue. So that's DIYing also. Everything can go wrong. So if you have the same, don't worry, everyone has it. Not everyone, but at least people like me have it. So now we're going to do the smaller one, and we're going to do this red, white, and red. So I'm going to do this pieces red and the two middle pieces in white. But of course, I think you already know how to paint it. So you see, now I did paint my pieces. What I'm going to do is very easy. I'm just going to do some glue on this side. Of course, I'm going to turn it over because I think this side is nicer to have on the underside. So I'm going to do some glue on this side over here, and I'm going to place it down, and on the underside we have a straight line over here. We do here some glue on this side, a little small line, we place it down, and we place this one of course also over here at the underside, give it some pressure, and we do here the same, a little glue over here, and I'm going to wipe away a little piece because it's a little bit too much glue, place it down, and we're going to do it over here. And now the last. And of course I did this combination with colors, but choose anything you like for yourself. Place this down, and we're going to give it a pressure, some pressure, and we're going to gently wipe away the glue which is sticking out. Don't press too hard so the glue is coming out too hard. So I'm going to let this dry in for at least 10 minutes. So now my pieces are both drying, the blue one and of course the red and white is drying our tag. We are going to, because my tags will be standing up straight because I want to use it kind of a sign idea. So I have now my stand where they will stand on. I have 6 sets of 2. So very easy, you do some glue on the wider side, place it on top, do some glue on the wider side, place it on top, over here, and this one, and over here. And this is for the smallest tag, so not for the bigger one, but for the smaller one. So we're going to place them aside, make a straight line, place it on the side, do here the same, squeeze it, and again, squeeze it together, and this one. And then we're going to give it a couple of minutes dry, maybe 1.5 minutes. So now we did wait 1.5 minutes. Now we're going to do some glue on the top side and on this top side, and then we can easily glue them together this way. Just give it a little bit of pressure, and we do here the same. Do some glue. Make sure that you have all the blocks pointing at the same direction. So I have here the smallest line, so make sure that you all of them have in the smallest line, not that you change it up and do another turn, because first of course it doesn't look nice, but it's probably also not fitting. And again, we're going to wipe away the glue, turn it over, do the back side, and we're going to let this dry in for also at least a couple of minutes. So now I have my 2 pieces, and I'm going to get 2 loose blocks, and I'm going to paint them in the blue color. So I'm going to paint this and this in the blue color. So now as last piece, we are going to make, of course, the stand for the bigger one. So we have now 8 rows of 2. So 8 rows of 2. And now we do some glue on this one also. Place it straight up over here. and over here. And this is already row number 1. And I make sure that I have on the sides of the tag some space open, but you see that in a moment, where I can do a little bit of greenery or something else on top of there. So you don't have to do that. So I'm going to squeeze them, place it down, squeeze it, squeeze, and this one, and the last row. And then we're going to give it a couple of minutes drying. So now I do also on this one, on the top side, some glue, place it down, do over here some glue, and on this one, and row it together. And we do here the same, and that's why I do it always after a 1.5 minute, 2 minutes. Then you still can fill in the open gaps, because that's what you want. We just squeeze it gently together at the end, and we're going to the side, make sure that everything is fitting nicely. Over here, squeeze it, and make sure that you have a nice straight line. And then we're going to clean it up, and we are going to let it dry in for at least 5 until 10 minutes. So now I give this also a couple of minutes, and now I have 2 loose blocks also for this one, and I'm going to paint this one in the color red, this stand. So now my stands are drying, the red and the blue one. Now I'm going to go further with my tag. And you see already, I was thinking not everyone has a drill in their home. So I was thinking maybe I just can do it without making a little hole on top of here. So I'm going to get my rope, and I'm going to cut off a little piece like this. And I'm going to, because they are in each other with 3 strings are turned into each other. Here are 3 strings, because there's a little bit of the thicker one. What you also can do is just make a knob over here for the bigger one. And just make over here, this is a little bit of a thicker rope. And what you can do is also make a knob on this side, glue it on top, make a loop, and do on the back side also one. That's also a way of making a tag. But I'm going to do it a little bit smaller. This one is a little bit too big at my taste. So I'm going to cut off a little piece. I do it in the garage because this gives, you see already, one big mess. So I'm going to pull out a little piece, and then I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to use 2 strings, or maybe 1 string. I will see. So I do it with 2 strings. I took 1 off because I think 1 is for me a little too small for the bigger size. So I'm going to make a knob inside on this one, and I'm going to make sure that I have a nice knob, and I'm going to glue this one over here. And of course I'm going to remove a little bit of the outside, take it open, at least split your rope. What I'm going to do, so now I'm going to glue this one over here. I think I'm going to, if I'm going to do it straight or not, I think I'm going to do it straight. So I'm going to do some glue, some hot glue on this one. And of course he's not really willing to go, my hot glue. He's not really in for it, I see it. You see, he's not really into gluing. So I'm going to make sure that I have it in the middle. Press it down and leave it in place for a little moment until it is dried up. And this way you don't have to drill your piece. You just assume that there will be a hole. And so this way. And now we do easy. We do a loop. And of course we're going to turn it around. Make of course a knot on this side to give it the look that we want. And again, make sure that you have a nice flat knob. Of knot is it, not knob, but knot. So I always see it wrong. So again, I'm going to make sure that I glue this one over here. And I'm going to place it also in this way. We're going to press it down. And we keep it in place for a little moment until it is dried up. This way. And now I think it looks very nice. Of course, you can make it longer. You can do anything you like. But I think I like it this way. So I'm going to do the other one also the same way. So I place now my tag on a piece of paper kitchen towel, and of course I'm really happy how this one already turned out. But I'm going to do now some lettering. I did go to my stash and I have here some white wooden letters. You can use some sticker letters, you can use maybe a print, you can do anything. You can write it on top. If you are a great writer, you can write it over here. I'm going to do on the blue one freedom, and here I do America. So I'm going to take my time and just glue them on top of here, but I think you already know how to do that. So now I place my letters on top, and you see already I changed over to the Scrabble letters. I liked that a little bit better. So now I have my 2 blue poles over here and my 2 blue loose blocks. What I'm going to do is very easy. I'm going to place this one in between, close it in, and I'm closing it in on this side. So I'm going to do some glue on the underside, over here and over here. And we do it on the back side, of course, also over here. And we're going to simply place it inside of here. And we're just going to look where we have the middle. And we're going to place it against each other this way. Make sure that you have even spaces in between. And this one, give it a little bit of pressure and squeeze it. And now I hope everything will stand up for a little moment until I did some glue on this block, and place it over here. I do the same on this side and this side. And you see already my glue is running away from me, and I'm going to do this way, and I'm going to squeeze it and make sure that everything is fitting nicely in between, dipping away a little bit of the glue which is coming out because we don't want some stains. And again, we're going to squeeze it, and we're going to let this dry in for at least a half hour. So like I told you, we're going to let it dry in for a half hour, but you see in a moment the quick impression and how I decorated it. And you see finally a quick impression of my tumbling tile blocks standing tags, and I'm so happy how both of them turned out. I know it's a little bit different than normal, but you can give your own twist on it. I hope you give this a try. Everyone who is new here, I hope you enjoy what you saw, and if you do and you're not subscribed to my channel, of course I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and hit the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. Everyone have an amazing day, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye.